the Hunter, you can actually switch the flares for Chasm Mystics. It just makes more sense.
It's even better, actually.
Yeah, it's just 2 mana, and you don't use it as a cycle anymore. So it's better to play a body for 4 mana that is, well, lower than the usual stats for 4 mana, but still, it's a minion, so it's okay.
Alright, so we have Druid against Warlock, and Hosty's Warlock was actually a zoo, and Neirea is going to have to bring out his dead, apparently.
And also, the Druid has a really great opener. Both players have great openers. Well, Hosty's missing the Death Rattle creatures, but still.
He doesn't have his Death Rattle creatures, but I like you see the Implosion in Hosty's hand. That's something that's been making its way around the metagame, I believe, at high ranks. They're running Implosion with Sea Giants. It's been played quite a bit now. Not something you expect. Like Sea Giant, Zeus saw a little bit of play. Zixo, I think, was playing it on Ladder a while back. And it got picked up by a few people. Not the most, popular deck in the meta, but right now, you got Hosty with Implosion and Probably Seas.
Yeah, every single Zoo list is still very powerful. Well, if you play Implosion or you play any kind of 4-drop, it's still very powerful. So, well, I actually think there are no Dark Bones of Soulfights in that deck just because of Implosion is still very powerful. Yeah, if you play it's kind of different, but play any kind of 4-drop, every single Zoo is very dangerous. Every single deck. And Zoo is capable of sweeping any kind of opponent.
Implosion, which is it's a nice first deck to pick because you always have the chance, and especially against Druid, honestly. Druid, if without a good start, sometimes you just get completely overwhelmed by Zoo because they can trade into your lines of taunts if you do get them.
Did you see that? Hosty didn't want to attack with the
because you always have the chance, and especially against Druid, honestly.
It's a risky play because if there would be actually a draw with a Death Rattle, this would mean a lot. But now he's not able to kill the Undertaker again because he will use the Keeper of the Grove to kill the Knife Juggler.
Yeah, this will give him a bit of time.
Yeah, but still the Undertaker is there, and still no Death Rattle for Hosty here. So the Undertaker is quite useless, which is very lucky.
I think you have to use the Implosion here, try to get, some board presence, but then again, you're playing into swipe, right, if you're playing the Implosion,
Yeah, that's true, but still, there is no swipe.
Wow, 4 damage! Wow, the maximum roll. 4 damage to the Shade goes down, and now without a swipe, Neirea must not be feeling too good about this. And in fact, there is no swipe. Yeah, but he's still fine though. He's got a pretty decent board, to be honest. Zoo's hand is very limited, so he has to start tapping.
Look at that poor overwhelming there. It's just begging to be used in one of the imps and just trade for the voucher. Yeah,
most definitely. There's no point.
Do you use the golem? I think you can actually use the golem here.
I think he won't. I don't know. Apparently, he just swipes the board and keeps the Undertaker up with 1 imp because there is no swipe. You've gotten that information last turn, so it does make sense not to do that. But now with Dr. Boom, that threatens a board wipe, kind of a pseudo board wipe, right? Because you have to get those Boom boss will get value against Zoo unless you hit the face.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Well, tap instead of playing just both creatures. That's interesting. So now, if you play the Knife Juggler and you attack first because the Juggler can actually hit the bomb and kill one of your minions.
Yeah, and it triggers before it comes in.
Okay,
wow.
So Neirea's just only at 10 HP and he kills one of the oozes with his bomb, which really matters a lot. This is an important pick. A taunt in this situation is a crucial thing to draw into.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Boom can easily, dispatch 1 or 2 minions here off the board, and the bomb might get 2 of them if you include the imp. So there's a possibility that it kills. Actually, if it hits anything with the explosion,
you have to kill the juggler.
Oh wow! Yeah,
okay, you do this anyway. Never mind.
Never mind that. Who cares?
I would actually kill the juggler. The juggler itself just threatens the board so much.
Yeah. Now Neirea's got a really sturdy line of defense. It's gonna really be hard for Hosty to go through. Cause does he run Doom Guards? If he's running Sea Giants, yeah. I'm expecting him to, but I haven't seen anything so far.
He plays 2 for sure.
Yeah. I'm just kind of surprised that there's absolutely nothing right now for Neirea to do against that 4-6, and the 7-3 is just, I mean, that's a lot of damage. Like, the lower you are on health, the less and less pressure you can put on, because you can't life tap at some point, and Flame Imp becomes almost a liability.
Personally, I did cut Flame Imp some time ago in tournaments because the amount of hunters just made the card unplayable. So I was playing with one.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. Like, how many times have you had it sit in your hand and do nothing?
With two, a lot. With one, it was almost okay. Like I felt it was a great switch, and I switched the second one for async Swampus, so I actually increased the matchup counter also.
That's a nice tech idea. Now, Neirea got a swipe off the top, so that definitely helps him here deal with this board. And the Doom Guard, actually, there we go. But you can't play Flame Imp first, can you?
Well, it doesn't really matter how much life points you have at this state of the game, and I think you do play the Flame Imp here. You have
it's so risky. Yeah, he has to go all in, try to have to like
one turn to actually win the game, so you have to go for it.
Yeah, this is the end of it, but he can't afford life tapping because then Keeper of the Grove becomes a lethal. There's a few outs
life tapping here. Like playing the Flame Imp is actually almost the same as life tapping, but you play the creature
instead. Yeah,
it's 3/2 creature.
But he did both, so apparently Neirea's got the win here by buffing the Dr. Boom to 9 attacks. That is lethal.
That's a
that life tap.
Rare sight to behold that Neirea's actually buffing something. But it's the great thing with scenarios, it actually got more value with Dr. Boom being played.
Yeah, the Boom
Boom is the mini scenarios here, and the scenarios is just acting like a daddy for Dr. Boom, which will bring the bombs to 3/3, which is insane good.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like every single time you see Dr. Boom in a deck, you just realize just how much versatility the guy's got. He can be included just about anywhere for just about any purpose, and you'll get value out of him. So Neirea gets the first game against Zoo. Not exactly, the most favored matchup for him. So that's pretty nice that he got away with it. He had an amazing start though with the Wild Growth and the Shade of Nags and everything, just like perfect.
I just say that he had the perfect answers. He had even a keeper for turn 1. So if the odds would be really bad for him, like he wouldn't be sure that the Undertaker wouldn't be buffed, he could just drop the keeper turn 1, kill the Undertaker, and just doesn't care.
Yeah, like coin innervate, Keeper of the Grove, you're maintaining tempo for about 2 or 3 turns until you can stabilize into the mid game, and that's generally where you want to be as a druid, especially ramp against Zoo. So that was a nice win. Not exactly something I expect systematically with a good hand like that. You kind of you have to assume that's gonna go that way, but he was pretty close. I mean, he was on 10 health at some point, so that was a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But Dr. Boom killing the Juggler was pretty much a carry there. Like it was a big deal.
Yeah, if he didn't actually hit the Knife Jugger, this could easily be turned around by Hosty there. Like every single draw is almost always just 1 damage into solving, and there was only 2 targets. So he would actually maybe kill Dr. Boom and then wouldn't be threatened with lethal. So the game could have been very different at that point.
Yeah, but it's nice that he got the Knife Juggle, at least that got him a chance. So I wonder which of Hosty's decks going to go up next against that Druid, because he knows the list. Well, not the list exactly, but he knows the kind of deck that it is. Nothing really out of the ordinary from Neirea, as far as we've seen at least. So Hosty, do you run Rogue or Hunter against it? I feel like...
I think
Rogue?
Hunter.
I don't know, I really don't know.
That really depends on the build you have. If that's a face counter, you can actually try to kill him before anything is being played at all.
And Face Hunter has been played. Like, it's back now. It's even more annoying than it used to be. Clockwork Gnomes. It might be...
I think it might be a Face Rogue. Well, we're not sure because the Gnome still doesn't imply anything. There's a Shredder also.
Piloted Shredder, okay.
You've
got my attention.
Cards.
You've got my attention, Hosty.
Oh, wow, Grove. Now this is...
Greetings! Greetings, travelers.
Turn 2. This is awful to play against.
The most important card in the entire Druid arsenal, and the swipe actually going to help him a lot sometime in the next few turns when he needs to reset this board a little bit.
Undertaker, turn too late.
Just a turn too late, right?
On turn 1, then maybe Hosty will actually play the Wrath on turn 2, and instead of Wild Growth, So just to mess with the, that will mean that he will mess up his curve.
Yeah, but it's still a really good board here for Hosty, regardless of the fact that it got him a turn late, because he does have stuff that sticks around, right? He can kill the Clockwork with Wrath, with Hero Power, sorry, and the Undertaker with Wrath, so that kind of mitigates the board, but that makes Neirea keep a swipe. Unfortunately, there's no more coin for Hosty, so the Piloted Shredder is not going to come out right now.
Next turn is awkward. Yeah, you don't want to play the weapon because you're giving out so many informations.
Yeah, but you still do have to, don't you? Or do you just web spin Hero Power?
Well, you have to take into account what will be the next turn for Druid, because you won't have time to play the weapon on turn 4, for sure, because you want to play the Shredder. So the first time you actually play the weapon is turn 5. So you have to take into account, is that an option for you? Do you lose potential 3 points of damage to make board control in this situation?
Whoa, he decides to play the web spinner and the spare part to buff his health to 1, where the Druid can't actually kill it with a Hero Power.
I don't think I'll actually do that, because if you play the web spinner, you actually cheat yourself.
Out of value, right?
Yeah, kinda. And also, when you play a web spinner with 1 health, then maybe the Druid will actually use his Hero Power to also lose tempo. But it worked out, so it's okay.
We don't know what trap Hosty got, though. I don't know if it's a free. I'm expecting it could be a freezing trap. We saw one in the starting hand, he threw it away, so it could still be the freezing trap. Could be a snake trap as well. That would surprise me too much. Kill commanding the Drill Claw here is kind of a given.
Yeah, of course.
Now, unfortunately for him, the Shade, if it's a freezing trap, is going to go back to that hand. That's going to be a bit annoying.
We have to see. Harrison Jones.
Oh, Harrison Jones. Now he's happy to trigger that secret and say, thank you for the card draw, sir. Oh, that is a nice inclusion to the Druid deck. I like that. As you said, a lot of weapon hate right now in the metagame, and that's definitely showing right now. It's going to be a big deal. That's 6 damage off of Hosty's potential. Incredible there. That was really nice.
6 points of damage when you play against a Druid with 24 points of health. Can actually mean that you maybe lost the game, but still this is Hunter, so he can pull off the win easily with just 1/7 Hyman if there will be no keeper.
If there's no keeper of the Grove to deal with it, it can be really problematic.
Savage Roar, so turn 1 turn to combos, he has 1 part, he can draw into a combo next turn, but he has to take into account that he has to play the Belcher, I think. He
has to play the Belcher here, I think, this turn, just to whittle down some of the board, maybe break that Spider, break that Shredder, and maybe try to get himself a good swipe next turn to clear the board completely.
I think you go face, because if you... Maybe you will win next turn if you draw into Force of Nature.
Yeah, you have to play the... ooh, nice. An anti-Force of Nature card.
Yeah.
There goes.
Well, you first...
Oh, the Ancient Launcher.
Wow,
a devastating troll card here. Not going to help at all for Hosty. Not exactly the card you want to see right now.
Now play the web spinner first. Kill the web spinner first.
Maexna.
Yeah.
With the Rhino, that could be interesting.
This is awesome.
But he's gonna kill it for sure. There's no way. Does he not, or does he swipe after breaking the Spider? Like he has to. There's nothing there that you could do other than that. Like, it's the only sensible play for the future turn investment. He triggers the trap, explosive trap that is, before playing his Shade of Nax.
He's now in the clear for the combo. So
yep, definitely.
Drawing a Force of Nature next turn is just lethal.
Yep, immediately. So, Savannah Hyman here has a draw. Unleash the Hounds, though, that's kind of awkward, honestly. I'm not sure. He's 1 mana off of playing what he wants.
You play Savannah Hyman and just Hero Power.
And you pray?
Yeah. Max is awful because it doesn't reflect his life points total. I mean, Druid would not be carrying so much with the Maxa unless it's being taunted, so...
Yeah, but right now we're looking at 5, 8 damage on board plus 6 from Savage Roar, so he's on 14 damage. He's 2 damage off of lethal. So if you play scenarios for taunts, I mean the problem is Unleash the Hounds gets buffered if scenarios is played.
still you have 2 tons and you have 17 points of damage. I don't think scenarios with taunt is a bad play. I think it's the best play actually. Then you go face with your both creatures.
But how worried are you about the Neirea here? Like, I think buffing and going face wins you the game systematically. Yeah, there goes.
So?
Yeah, because the Shade is pretty much unkillable here, and all you have to do is Savage Roar next turn and you automatically win.
Yeah, you're right. That was a very good decision. I agree. I didn't see that, so kudos to Neirea here. A very good play.
Neirea not doing what... well, actually, it will kill scenarios. It will kill Harrison Jones with the Unleash the Hounds.
But it's still lethal next turn.
Yeah, there's still a lethal with the Shade of Nax being stealthed here. You can't remove her. No flares, no deadly shots. This is not happening.
Neirea going 2-0 with his Druid here.
That's actually, well, I mean, it just goes to show, you know, a lot of people have been saying Druid is, you know, has died with GVG. I've seen a lot of people make, you know, extreme claims like that because the cards they got from GVG didn't really improve their deck, but their old deck is still just as strong. You know, they haven't gotten any shiny tools. Yeah, it's like it got better with the neutral card. Like Recycle hadn't seen play much, if at all, and so there's like a few cards that really haven't been making a huge impact, but their decks are still very, very strong. Like they're sturdy, they're stable, they're kind of this class that just keeps being good without being, you know, overpowered or broken at any point.
Innovate is still broken.
Yeah, it's carrying the Druid class for a long time. Net tempo gains with board presence. I can say that. Yeah.
True. Wild Growth and Innovate, the most, well, powerful cards in my opinion when it comes to Hearthstone. They're just breaking the fundamental rules of the game. So Druid's still going strong here.
That won't change for a while until those cards. They won't. I don't think those cards will get changed. Interestingly enough, they added Grove Tender, right? I don't think they will get changed. I think
Tender is okay when it comes to game design. In my opinion. It's a really interesting card because it's symmetrical, so both players are gaining the same, and with Wild Growth, you just lose.
It's a one-sided thing. You lose a card, but you've got Ancient of Lore in Druid, right? So like, what's the drawback? Like, I can just keep drawing at some point. Like, I can turn 5 Ancient of Lore and get back in this game very easily.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think
that Tender Grove. What's the name? Grove Tender, right?
Grove Tender, yeah.
Yeah, Grove Tender is a really cool design, and I like it a lot. And also the golden version of the card is insanely pretty. I think it's the most beautiful card in the game right now when it comes to golden versions.
I got one golden one. I still haven't been able to make it work, but I'll be damned. So this is what? This is the second game that Neirea has taken over Hosty. You know, Hosty losing his Hunter. Now there's one Rogue left.
Yeah.
He didn't pick it, so does that mean he thought it was, you know, not going to win systematically against Druid? I don't know.
Rogue was actually a good matchup, at least some time ago. Rogue was a good matchup against Druid. Druid didn't change at all, but yeah, Rogue did. Changed. So...
Yeah, Rogue changed a lot. It's been a little while since Miracle Rogue's been, you know, amazing against Druid. Temple Rogue was actually pretty strong against Druid a long time ago in the days of AP drop. But I see a Goblin Auto Barber and an Arcane Nullifier in Hosty's hand right now, so you might have been right. You know, Iron Sensei. You know, you mentioned the Iron Sensei. I think this might just be the deck you were referring to earlier. Oh, Neirea with another Wild Growth in his starting and an Innervate. Although a little dry right now.
But still, if you get Wild Growth, you will get one more turn to actually draw into something really decent.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I think this is the deck you were mentioning. You know, one sprint, one Gadget's hand. This might be exactly that.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, the Wild Growth and Druid. The most important card in the matchup, pretty much. But Harrison Jones in Neirea's hand. Oh no! Oh no, Hosty.
Oh, he's playing the Barber here. No, that's the different deck from the Kingwin tournament.
Is the Warp wasn't in there?
No. That was kind of a standard Miracle list, just with one Gazette and one Sprint instead of the second get stuff. Now this is a mech-centric deck.
They got more mech, and you know, Neirea drops a Black Knight, but little does he know that Hosty's got an Arcane Nullifier coming up.
That's be insane. Wow.
Yeah, it must be a little frustrating. Like he doesn't know that, but you know,
That's the Hosty idea. Like I just switched decks from the last tournament, so my opponent will be tricked into playing something that maybe he wouldn't in normal situation, and this is exactly this type of situation.
That's exactly what's happening right now. Like switching gears between tournaments might confuse your opponent. They're trying to scout you. Not everybody does scout, but those who do will get confused. It's a really good idea in general. Now, Hosty's hand is actually pretty strong as far as removal goes. The thing is, Neirea has to be very conservative with Harrison Jones to get maximum potential value out of it. He really has to try to maximize the if Assassin's Blade is run in that deck or Cogmaster's Wrench.
I think there's a Cogmaster's Wrench.
Yeah, with so many mechs. So many mechs makes a lot of sense. Most definitely, I like this right now. Oh, so do you deadly poison, backstab the Yeti, and kill it?
I'm just thinking.
Or do
you have to maintain board position when you're playing against Druid, because every single damage that stacks will just bring you closer to the lethal range of the combo. So you can't really afford not kill creatures.
Yeah, but at the moment, I mean, Naria's hand is pretty small. He's already played Innervate, he's already played a Wild Growth. So his follow-ups, you expect something like a Druid of the Claw here. You haven't seen Sylvanas. She's probably somewhere in there. Although you have seen Harrison Jones, so there might be weapon hate. And surrendered the Sylvanas slot, which I find kind of odd. I don't think that would be the case, but...
Affects it now.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's setting up the kill on it. Wild Growth. Not the most exciting card right now for Neirea.
Oh, swipe. This will be very important later in the game. Just to have the swipe in your hand, you can plan accordingly, just not count it. Maybe I'll draw into one, right? So this will be very important card to draw.
It's one of those things on ladder. If you've played ladder, there's that one turn you're like, if I had a swipe, I'd win the game. If I didn't have it, then I lose. So Hosty running a second Arcane Nullifier in that deck as well, which I find kind of cool. So the Yeti goes down to the weapon charge. The Drake is left alone.
4/4 creature is still a big a threat to the Druid. He has no easy way to actually kill.
The Tinker's Oil could work, but I mean, I'm probably not too excited to do that, but Cogmaster's Wrench, there it is. There's the wrench with the auto barber that makes it what?
So 4/2, yeah, 4/3 action.
You can even slap a deadly poison on top of that if you want. That would kill it.
Kill Belcher and then kill the slime with your Drake.
With your Drake, yeah.
But he didn't choose this, and this is interesting. Now a swipe has to be played to the face.
But it's Oh,
there's a keeper. Never mind.
Yeah, I think that changes the play you had in mind, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Because you can kill the Arcane Nullifier with your slime now.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a really
very lucky
top
draw
deck here. Very nice one. And as soon as the Hosty's weapon gets buffed, that's gonna give some card draw to Neirea, who is actually direly lacking for it right now. He really wants some card draw, so whenever Cogmasters gets played, and he's gotta be careful because he knows that Harrison's in that deck.
This is a really hard turn.
Yep.
You have to kill.
It's easy to kill it, but.
But you just do it with the barber, and then you're left with 2 mana, and this is kind of odd.
Yeah, exactly. You have to Harrison Jones, right? Do you? He says sorry. Oh, no way.
1 point of lethal.
Yeah, but he's got it next turn. He kills the weapon, and then he goes face for 4 with the Druid of the Claw. Or he just plays Lothar. And that works too. Never mind, what am I talking about?
Yeah,
what am I talking about?
Before the draws, I was actually thinking maybe you should just play the combo with face.
Yeah, but after the Lothar draw and Druid of the Claw, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is excruciating.
Well played.
No force of nature, just
nobody needs to. Doesn't even Savage Roar, just Hero Power.
Oh yeah, right.
It's exactly lethal. Who cares about overkill, right? It's precision. It's a scalpel where a hammer would have done. All right, so Hosty goes down to Neirea's Druid again. So that's 3-0, I believe.
Yeah, 3-0, devastating for
Hosty.
Still, he is in the tournament, and he will be playing in the lower bracket. So